So excited! So excited for today. Hi, Patricia. Do you want to send me a request so that I can bring you on? Hi, Suha. Is that how you pronounce it? Yes, Vegas Daddy. There you are, babe. Woo! So excited. We're going to just let some people come on live. Oh my God, this song is just reminds me of you every single time. It's so fun. I love it. I love it. Just gonna let some people join us before we get started. So, can you hear this? I love the hat. Yes, girl. Hi, Liv. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Monkey. So happy to see you guys. Hi, Allie. So good to see you, gorgeous. Love you, love you. Yes, so good to see you guys. I am really super excited to have on Sherry Chat today.
Me too.
To have, let me just say, and you will say so much more, but I mean, your resume is incredible. Just Le Reve and Crazy Horse Paris La Femme, one of my favorite shows of all times. Besides Cherry Boom Boom, Cirque du Soleil. I don't want people to miss, so much of the amazing things that you've done, and you'll be able to talk about it more in a second. But of course, Cherry Boom Boom, and I just love you so much, and I'm so happy to have you on today. You guys, Patricia Bouche Belle, you say it much better. Cha Cha Boom Bouche Belle. Is that how you pronounce it? It's French, right?
Yes, Bouche Belle.
Oh, it sounds so much better when you say it, Bouche Belle. I love it. I love it. I love it. Welcome, Cha Cha Boom! It's so good to see you, and I want to I want to tell everyone and go through that story when you first came onto Cherry Boom Boom. Of course, you came to the Tropicana Vegas audition, and I remember it so well that we had auditions, and I was looking for a particular dancer specialty act for this moment in the show, this certain song, and I wasn't finding it. And I have to say, a lot of the specialty acts, they were very good at the tricks, but there wasn't someone that brought in that fire and that was like an amazing, sensual, sexy dancer. And then you walked in the room and you blew me away. And that was exactly what I was looking for, a dancer with the specialty act skills. And I just fell in love with you that moment, and it's been an amazing journey with you. I love you. You're so talented. You have incredible work ethic. And it's so fun. Yay!
Thank you. It was an incredible journey since I met you, Liz. Thank you. It's amazing, and it's. I can't wait for what's coming too. It's gonna be amazing.
Well, the thing that I loved about you, and that I love about you so much, and in that moment, I could tell that you have such passion for what you were doing from the very moment that music started that day until I get goosebumps right now talking about it. Every single day of rehearsal,
I love that rice vinegar.
Every performance, I just feel like your heart is so invested in what you do and who you are, and it shows through. So just tell us a little bit about that audition. Do you remember? Take everyone through that process.
Yes, I do remember. I actually came to the aerialist audition because I missed the dancer audition.
Ah.
Yes. I'm a dancer first. I'm a dancer in heart.
Yes.
I started aerial later. And aerial is one of my passions too. So I came to the aerial audition hoping, of course, to do aerial, but really hoping to dance. So that's my first love. But of course, I was not going to tell you this. So I showed up to the aerial audition. Yes, and I knew that you were looking also for a flamenco dancer.
Yes.
But I believe you were looking for a male flamenco dancer. Not a
Well,
few.
and originally it was a couple. We were looking for that moment for maybe
Real
a couple,
good.
maybe a duet, because you
Yay.
brought someone in. You were dancing with
Okay,
a
I'm getting
partner.
back. Now I'm going to
Yes,
start
the
doing my
area.
other work
The
better than I
area.
Yes.
have here.
Yes. And every time I go to audition, because flamenco is it's really my I love it. I always bring my flamenco stuff in, just in case. Just in case. It doesn't matter what style
Well,
of it is.
Well, it was
And
super smart, and we were looking for that, and you were so unique that you brought that. That's super smart.
oh, thank you. So when
No,
then
go ahead.
you asked me to dance, so I mixed up some flamenco and some crazy horse Paris style.
Yes.
And it worked out because I ended up doing everything I love: dancing, aerial, strap, flamenco, acting. I mean, your show was so complete that I was a satisfied artist.
Oh, well, it showed so much. I just will never forget that moment. Like, I found this person for this moment. That brings all of those things. Incredible dancer, fire, flamenco, aerialist. Like, because, Cherry Boom Boom is that. It's so much more than just a dance show. And
Yes.
you really encapsulate all of that, of what it is. And then, of course, you're just super sexy organically from the inside out. You're from where you come from, the way that you live, the way that you approach life. I just love it. You really enjoy life and come from it from like a passion place.
Yes. Passion makes me feel alive. So that's the only thing that keeps me going. I just believe in my vision and I just go for it no matter what people say, no matter how much I'm judged. I just don't mind what people think. I just go for it, and because at the end it's I'm gonna be the one who's living it, not other people.
Oh, I love that so much. And that kind of brings us to the beginning of your story of how you came to Las Vegas, how you came to America. I mean, tell us about that, where you're from.
So I'm French Lebanese with a Latin heart. I was born during the war in Beirut. I did grow up in Africa, Ivory Coast. Then my mom is French. I went back to Lebanon. I lived the war. I experienced a lot of different things that a teenager was not supposed to experience, but I will not change a thing if I have to go back. And from there, my mother was my first dance teacher. She's my mentor. And at the age of 13, when she saw that I really wanted to be a professional dancer, she sent me to France in private school, dance school. So I was going to school and doing 12 hours a day. And from there, when I finished everything, I was in the ballet company of Nice. Then I was in the jazz company of Serge Alzetta in Nice as well. And from there, my artistic director told me, you have to go audition for Crazy Horse Paris. Crazy Horse Paris, the world known biggest cabaret since 1951.
Yes.
And it was not really my style, to be honest, but I just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
Crazy Horse Paris changed my life and brought me to Las Vegas.
Well, you know what's so crazy about that story is that, and I love that, and we found this out much later, is that Crazy Horse Paris in Vegas, the original one, the one that you were in, the one that, not the one in Paris. I didn't see it in Paris. I wish I would have. But the one that was in Vegas for 14 years was my favorite Vegas show of all time. And we realized later that you were dancing in that show when I had seen it like 4 or 5 times, and we didn't even know each other yet.
Yes.
I love it.
True. Every dancer from that show has to go from Paris. So you start in Paris, and they send you to the Vegas one if you want, because they have the touring show as well.
Yeah.
So I know we never met. I know.
Yeah. Well, it makes so much sense because that show artistically was so different than so many other things there, and really was the standard. Really was the way, and yet intimate and cabaret and authentic, and it's just so gorgeous. It's so beautiful.
For me, it was a school of femininity. They teach you how to be feminine and to see that the woman's body is not a taboo. You don't have to be ashamed of it. It's just beautiful. beautiful, it's elegant and sensual, and it's just amazing. And thanks to Crazy Horse, I could stay in the United States. Unfortunately, when they closed, I did the closing show with them. I started to work with the Light Project from Cirque du Soleil. This is when I started to do aerial.
Yes.
I was looking at all this aerial.
Did they train you? So
They
did you know any? They trained you. Wow, that's amazing.
I had some knowledge in aerial and pole, and during the audition, they saw that I had strength for it because I was hired originally as a dancer.
Yes.
And I just wanted to be in the air. I was just looking at them, and I didn't want to be on the ground. I wanted to be up.
Yes.
And I just trained so much, and thanks to that, and because once as a dancer, when you start to do aerial, your upper body get a shock because it's upper body strength.
Yes.
And thanks to that, I built my strength, and I could audition for my dream show, Reve, the water show I started right on.
I mean, oh my gosh, the shows you've been in, that's amazing. Go ahead. That's so beautiful. Yes.
It was my dream because when I was in France and I was at Crazy Horse, I was watching Reve videos and I was like, oh my God, if one day I get to Vegas, I'll be close enough to audition for them, and hopefully my dream will come true. And thanks to Ariel that built my strength, I passed the strength test at Reve. If I didn't do aerial, I would not pass the strength test for dancers.
Right.
Because it's hard.
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's very hard. Yeah.
It's hard.
And how long were you at Reve? Such a beautiful show. That was one of the original shows I had seen like a long time ago as well. It's so beautiful.
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh,
it's great. Like you wait for your cue doing scuba diving underwater. It's incredible. It's really. I stayed 3 years at Reve. Then I took the decision to leave Reve to go join the creation of one of the show of Cirque Eloise in the headquarters of Cirque du Soleil in Montreal.
Okay, nice.
It's a show called Monaco. They were supposed to represent the city of Monaco in France and the life of Grace Kelly.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes, you're saying Young King. Yes, we love Patricia's swag, and we're going to have much more of that on the website. We're totally sold out of it right now, but I will get more for sure. Okay, go ahead. Thank you for that, Young King.
Thank you.
I know.
And
cutie.
I did the creation of that show. Amazing experience. I started to learn hand to hand and so many other specialty. 1 week before we're supposed to go on the 2 years world tour, the whole tour got canceled.
Oh no, why?
It got canceled for some specific reason with the royalty of in Monaco. So I actually did leave Reve, not for nothing, but my goal was to go on to. So I came back in Vegas. I started freelance. This is when I discovered real freelance life.
Yes.
And how you have to push yourself as an artist, to make connection and to just go for it. And I luckily got the musical Baz from Baz Luhrmann from the Moulin Rouge.
Oh my God, you've done some amazing shows and then worked with incredible artists and directors and creators. That's amazing. I love that story. Love that. And you really are like such a because Vegas is very different than LA. And I'm really glad that the dancers that we've had on Cherry Boom Boom, because a lot of them are from LA as well, that you've been able to like kind of teach them the way of Vegas, and it's very freelance. Like they don't work with a lot of. You have an agent, but it's not the same. It's not really the same. Like in Vegas, you know so many people, so many performers. You've worked with so many people, and I feel like you really helped some of the regular Cherry Boom Boom dancers that came to Vegas get connected with some other performers and shows, which is awesome. Yeah,
yes, I had to.
You've done so much.
I feel like it was very different for them. It's like me when I went to LA. I started to be with an agent. I discovered another way of connecting, but it was a blast to be with an agency in LA because they connected me, and thanks to that, I could choreograph and dance in the music video of Celine Dion and Carlos Santana.
Oh,
And it was incredible.
Oh my goodness.
And all this thanks to Crazy Horse Paris, who brought me to the States. I will forever be grateful.
Oh, well, you've had, I mean, that absolutely, because I feel like that show, incredible training to set you forward, you know, to go into all the other shows that you've been in. And each one, you're the type of dancer that I love working with, performer artists, because you soak everything up, you soak everything in. You're, what I really feel like young dancers can learn from you, and young and inexperienced, is that is as vast and incredible as your resume is, every day you come to rehearsal, you are open to the notes, you try as hard as you can, you give 100%, you know, and I feel like that mentality is something that young dancers can really learn from you, to stay uh, open and learn each time, no matter how much you've done.
I
What
think
do you think about that?
I think that if we're not open to challenge as an
Mm.
artist, we will never grow. If we take everything personal, you will just go backwards, because there will always be someone better, someone new, or someone younger, someone stronger. But at the
Yeah.
end, instead of getting intimidated by whoever comes to you, you just have to just go for it, believe in yourself, because we are different. Everyone
Yeah.
has a special message to express. And I do not envy anyone. I get inspired by them and
Yes.
motivated. For
It's so
example,
true when I see you work, when I see you in the room. Hi from Holland. Thank you for joining us. Yes.
for
And I
example,
do see
when
that.
you came back, when Sherry Boom Boom came back,
Yeah.
the first time I got Sherry Boom Boom, to be honest, I have never, even if I did all the other production and we worked with so many different people, I have never worked with such a strong group of women who support each other. For me, it was very new. I looked for that half of my life, because I always support women, but I never got support from other women. They will always give me drama. So for me, it was magical, and I thank you for that. It's it's so
my goodness.
empowering.
Yeah, it really is, and I love that about all the dancers and the ensemble. And I really try to incorporate that into this new version of the show, because, of course, when we were doing it in Los Angeles, it what with Katie and Kalea and Sharon, and we had this foundation of all of us who had worked in LA forever together, and then on stage had this like ensemble and support, like you're saying, like from women, with women, for women, of course, for men too, of course, but to have that on stage, and it really was something that people would comment about. So when we came to Vegas the first time at Tropicana, and you remember Katie and Kalea as well, I had people that said to me, you know, you should hire new, you know, choreographers and new creative directors and really super young. But I kept saying, no, I want to hire the people that I've worked with, the women I've worked with, because they've been with me for so long. And as you know, I'm like very loyal to people that are loyal with Cherry Boom Boom, and bring that foundation, because they have something that they can only bring because they have the history. And that exactly, that chemistry and connection that we had as a group was something that I wanted to be able to pass on to all of you guys. And so you guys having that together is something, yes, that I love, knowing that behind the stage, but seeing it on stage is something spectacular. And people love it. People love seeing how much fun you guys all have together. And it means so much to me that you guys are enjoying each other and the show as you're doing it. And I think it shows clearly.
We do. We trust each other. We push each other. It's just raw and real.
Yeah.
It's just real. It's real, because at the end, all we have is now.
Yeah.
Life goes fast, and your time on stage flies away, and you just want to live. You know, you just want to. It's so incredible. I love it. It's so great.
It is. It really. It's so awesome when you stop and think about it. Like during this time, like we really get to do what we love to do as a career. You know, on a daily basis, and I, you know, feel so grateful for that as well. And being surrounded by, you know, it's a team effort for me that we do this basically together, which is one of the things that I love about you. You're the kind of artist, coming from a theater background, that I love working with because there's a template, but I don't like to spoon feed, and I don't spoon feed, but I open it up and then say, hey, come on in with your creativeness as well. And you bring so much to the table, which is awesome, which I love. You know, you have so much to give because you are passionate about it. You know? So I love it. And you share with the other dancers. You help other dancers out behind the stage and on the stage, and how are we going to fix this trick? You know, you're really a team player, which
because at the end, what matters in a show, because it's just one act and one solo. It's the result.
Yes.
The end. It's the final product that matters. Is what people see. It's not what everybody's gonna do at that same time. We have to help each other. If not, it's not a show.
Yeah.
It's not a solo act. There is
Right.
When we're alone on stage, yes, we just live. But when we're together, even everything counts. Backstage, after the show, before the show. I mean, it's just incredible experiences. And I just want to thank you also for letting us be free on stage. That's very rare. You know?
I just love that. I love that. I just feel like that's what, again, coming from that training, I love when you guys come to an audition and I see something in you, that potential. I want to be able to have a template and a structure there so that then you can fly. I get goosebumps, my eyes water when I see you guys on stage and you are discovering new magic in the moment, new things. Hi, Michael, so good to see you. I love that you're discovering new things in the moment, you know, and those are the miracles. That's the magic. Those are the discoveries that happen when I feel like we allow the artist to fly free. And you know that we'll discover different things in the moment, and then that becomes, you know, part of the show, and it'll be different each time. You know, live theater is different every moment.
It's everything. Like talking about freedom, many friends of mine who saw me perform in all the other different shows, so different style, they came to watch Cherry Boom Boom, and they told me, many of them told me the same thing. They told me, Patricia, we never saw you dancing so freely. Oh! And I was like, you felt it. You felt
I love
it.
that. Yeah.
And it was so good to hear that, because that's what I felt. I was just free.
Oh, that's so good to hear, because yay! It's so good to hear, because that's what I'm going for. That's what we're going for as the creative team, and that you guys feel that in the moment is so awesome, because when you feel it, the audience feels it, and that's what it's about. You know, it's living in the moment with the music and the dance, and all of you just, you know, come together so beautifully. I mean, I miss seeing you and working with you every day. You know, I can't wait to get back to that. But you have, there's some other things too that you also are very trained in ballroom dancing.
Yes.
You have a lot of super professional technical skills that I love as well. So when did the ballroom dancing start?
So I actually started first before the ballroom, when I was in Beirut, in Lebanon, during the war. I fell in love with flamenco dance. Everything's so passionate and Spanish and all that. So this got me an interest in ballroom. And once I got to France, I started by salsa, and then I got into ballroom competitions. So I started in national ballroom competitions, and once I got to Vegas, I did continue to do the Nevada ballroom competitions while I was at Crazy Horse Paris.
Yeah.
I was doing Crazy Horse, but I missed partnering. I wanted to partner. I love partnering. It doesn't matter if it's in the air, on the ground, in the water. I don't care. I just like to partner. And I continued to do the ballroom competition in Nevada and in California as well. And Argentinian tango as well. So I just love partnering. It doesn't matter if it's with a girl too. I just like to share my dance.
Oh, it's so beautiful, and I love that you say that because I think we did a Cherry Boom a corporate event. Do you remember with the in the
Yes.
ballroom? It was Lizzo's surprise for the wedding, and
Yes, I was
Michael was
actually
involved in that
Petalona. Yes.
surprise.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. That training and that footwork, and I love that classical training. You bring it into like a new way. Yes, and thank you for reminding me, Sharon. I wanted to talk about the war and how that has affected you, because I feel like Cherry Boom Boom has all these incredible dancers, but there's this grit that has to come, and each dancer has fire, passion, technical skills, but that incredible grit. And I feel like your stories about the war, obviously you're a survivor, you've learned so much from those days. Tell us a little bit about what that was
Yes.
like, if you can share.
Growing up in Beirut was an amazing experience. Some other people would say that it was kind of crazy because of the war. But once you grow up in a war as a teenager, they teach you how to block your emotions. I'm a very emotional person. Very
Really?
emotional, yes. But
Yes.
my dad sent me to a thing called Scout du Liban. It's kind of like the military, but for teenagers.
Uh-huh.
It's a little bit softer, and they just teach you how to survive in any situation, to block your emotions, not to make your emotion disappear, just to block them if you need to go on. You
Uh-huh.
cannot be emotional in a dangerous situation. And also, they made me work for the Red Cross.
Interesting. Yes.
The Red Cross, the
Those are
paramedic, yes.
right.
We were volunteers because we had to, you know.
Right. Be of service. So you're really coming from like kind of blocking your emotions to be able to survive, but
Yeah,
also being of service in another way. That's incredible.
yes, yes. And at the same time, as a trade, I was giving dance classes.
Yes, of course you were. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, don't you feel like because dance and music, it really is what keeps us alive? It's what you have said so many times about Cherry Boom Boom, which I just love, that it reminded you of that fire and passion in your heart. And I feel like dance does that so much. And I know that people are going to be so ready for that feeling again. Like, and we're doing it through, the internet here, but really seeing a show that has that visceral feeling like Cherry Boom Boom is, like just feeling that heart in the moment is something that you can't.
It's real. It's real.
Yeah.
You cannot be in Cirque.
You can't yeah.
You cannot. Then you don't belong. You don't belong there. If you don't feel, you
Yeah.
cannot do the show because you will see it. You
Yeah,
have
I
to
know.
be
I love
raw.
her so much, Young King. Isn't she amazing? She's amazing. And it is the thing. And with Cherry Boom Boom, it's every single night I call for that heart to be brought first, because you can't phone it in. We've seen shows that last a long time, and then sometimes it seems like, people or dancers kind of phone it in, or you just get used to doing the steps. But you know the difference. We know the difference. And I feel like you bring your heart every moment.
I do, because that's what the word taught me. You never know when is the last time.
Yeah.
It can sound cheesy for some people.
No,
but you never know when is the last time. So every time I do the show, I do it as if it's the last time.
That just gave me goosebumps so much.
But it's real.
It's
really
true.
do it as if it was the last time, because I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm not gonna say there is a war, or I'm not gonna be dramatic, but yeah, I think it's automatic.
Yeah. Well, it's true, Sharon. Her passion is real, and that's what shows through. And that is what makes you such an incredible dancer, artist, person that I love working with, because your heart is first. The passion is there before the movement. Sometimes different choreographers come in and maybe it's different for you. That I know at first sometimes the choreography was like a little bit difficult for you to get that style or understand the
different style.
Yes, but I will hold out for someone like you, because I know that the passion is there, and I know that once you learn the steps, and you have it, because then you can bring both of them too, both of them together. So it's so worth it for me to have someone like you on board. because you're just so unique, and you bring that fire and you bring that heart, and you can't teach that.
No, Liz, I like challenge. I like, even if it's a different style, it's okay. At the end, it's dance. It's just
Yeah.
a different way to move, but
Yeah.
it's okay. The body is gonna get it if you work for it. Some
Yeah.
people need a little bit more time. Some people
Yeah.
need a little less time. It is easier with a mirror in front.
I know. Yes, I have to say, when we brought the show from Vegas, we were doing the show here at Santa Monica, Harbels, and Long Beach, and then they called us from Vegas and said, "Hey, come to Vegas." And so a lot of the girls had already known basically the show, the steps, but we had to recreate it in the room in Oyo. But God
There's
love
no
you.
mirror.
I know. So, well, what I love too is when we came back to Vegas, you immediately was like, "I want to be in the show. I'm available." And I was so happy to hear that. That just meant everything, that you were like on board again. And you had to learn the show without a mirror. So, and that's not easy.
And everyone knew the show, and I was like that.
That is not easy.
It's okay. It's life. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. Yes, hello. Hi, Young King. You've been so awesome. And so then, go ahead.
I just wanted to say something. I just
Yeah.
wanted to thank you because you made me fall with rock music.
Oh.
I love rock music.
Oh.
It's
I'm so glad to hear that.
Yes, since
Oh,
I always loved rock music. I always loved it. But since the first Cherry Boom Boom at the Tropicana Hotel,
yeah.
because before joining the first Cherry Boom Boom, I was in a period of my life when I thought that I lost the fire in my heart. I thought that I lost it, that I even asked myself if maybe I should stop dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Because for some specific situation and some specific people with who I worked made me lose that passion in me. It was still here, but I just didn't know it.
Yeah.
I thought it was gone. I thought that my passion gave up on me. And thanks to Cherry Boom Boom and rock music, I came back and it was incredible. I came back and it was incredible.
Oh
So
my
I just
God,
wanna
that makes
thank
me
you.
so oh, you are so welcome, and I thank you. I thank you because you bring such passion and heart. And I have to say, when we were transitioning from Tropicana Vegas and back to Vegas with the new show, you always believed in Cherry Boom Boom, always believed in my vision, and you have been on board from the very beginning with our Vegas story. And this is, I feel like this is like, can you hear this?
Yes!
So in the show Barracuda, I mean, obviously that is like that song from Heart, one of my favorites. Like, woman, strong, passionate, fire. That number is so incredible. And you do this like head spin that I have
my
no
neck
idea.
spin. My
Neck spin.
Yes.
Wait, tell us, how do you learn how to do a neck spin of all things?
I'm gonna talk about my next spin. I was auditioning a few years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, for I cannot say the name, but it's for a specific project in Switzerland. And the artistic director told me, "Do you neck spin?" And I said, "Of course I do." But it wasn't true.
Of course.
And I had to learn how to neck spin. So for neck spin, you have to prepare your neck. It takes weeks and months to build those muscles because you actually really hang. There is no support. You just hang. So all your body weight is to the floor. And in 4 or 5 weeks, I had to train my neck to show the artistic director that I have been neck spinning for 5 years, right? But it's not true.
Yeah. Well, you're fearless. You're fearless. So I'm sure yes, of course you would.
Thank you. It was a very hard process. So
Yeah.
I did send him the video. Everything worked out. He believed that I was the next one. I don't even know how. And since then, I never stopped because if I stop, I will lose the strength in my neck. And as I said before, as dancers, our strength is in our legs and arms and the upper body for aerialists. So I will lose strength if I stop training because most of my life I dance.
Yeah.
So that's, and thanks to Cherry Boom Boom, I keep that strength because I'm neck spinning every time I'm doing the show.
Well, and that moment in the show, every single night, I mean, the room just stops and their jaws are dropping and applause bursts every single time because it really is spectacular. It's so amazing. It's spectacular. I mean, here you are, like this hot, sexy body, beautiful dancer, dancing from, her heart, dancing with fire. And then you do this crazy trick on top of it. It's just like you just blow everyone away. I mean, it really is amazing. Yes.
I make sure not to drink before and not to eat a lot.
Yeah.
But it's an incredible feeling. It's like the feeling of when I feel free when I dance.
Yeah.
When I explain, I don't know how to explain, especially when it goes to full speed. I think it's for me. I can compare it to, I don't know if you ever jumped from a plane.
No, I haven't.
Okay, I did twice.
Of course.
And the free fall.
Yeah.
The jump.
Yeah.
Is almost like what I feel when it goes to full speed with my neck. It's incredible.
And you don't get dizzy. Like you come out of it, and I was always like, I want you to stop on a dime, Patricia.
No, you do not get dizzy because what you do actually is you have to look at the swivel, at the carabiner over, because that's the only thing that's not moving. It stays with you, or you can close your eyes.
Oh, yeah. But
I do not close my eyes. I'm not like that. I'm just smiling.
Yeah. No, I only remember one time when I was doing, actually it was a show for Michael Jackson at the MGM. It was a tribute. And I'm not professionally trained in aerial, but they had me come down from the ceiling.
Yes.
And I was holding on to the cord and my foot was in the strap and it was like an arabesque and it was a huge drop. And they just said, whatever you do, don't look, just stay looking up.
Yes.
At that carabiner. Yeah.
Yes.
Just look up. Do not look down.
It's like all the people who do Spanish web when they have the rope and they're hanging, and they spin. They have to look at their hand because their hand is the only thing that goes with them.
Yeah.
You don't look at the room spinning, then you will throw up.
Yeah. I mean, I love all of this. Like, I was a gymnast as well, and I did a little bit, like 40 deuce. We had to like climb on the seat.
I love 40 deuce.
Which all the stuff was that we brought into Cherry Boom Boom with Lisa Eaton, who created the bar apparatus that we have involved in the show. That sort of like using the room as we do with Cherry Boom Boom as our playground, as our set. I love that, and kind of coming from that gymnastics background and 40 deuce. And I just love that you have.
Incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with the dancers with the show. They have to be incredible dancers, but also athletes, as you are.
And it's so great that you brought Lisa and Melanie.
Yes.
Everyone we met, incredible artists, choreographers, producer. I mean, we're so grateful.
They're such a great team. It's such a really great team. I mean, and all this new stuff coming out like May 5th. I'm super excited about you have an incredible body. You take great care of your temple, of your facility.
I try.
Yeah, you do. And you have great little tips and things. So you're going to be able to like share that with us and like a little bit of a maybe heel.
Yeah, like fusing. I like to fuse mixed styles.
Yes.
Mixing. Yeah. So it feels like, I don't want to say too much about it.
No, we can't say too much. But what I'm excited about is that the world is going to be able to get a few of your secrets, that you are going to share, which is really exciting. So I'm really happy about that.
Yes, I have too many passions.
Oh, I love it. That's the thing that I love about you. You're passionate about life, and it shows in everything that you do. The way that you dance, the way that you train, the way that you are in rehearsal, the way that you perform, the way that you connect to the audience. I mean, I just love you so much, and I'm
Me
so
too.
grateful that you've been on board with Cherry Boom Boom through the entire Vegas chapter and to continue on. I mean, it just means so much to still have you there. And
Thank you. Thank you for picking me. It was an incredible journey, and I just feel so free. It's
wow.
amazing. It's amazing, and yeah, it's just amazing. It's incredible.
And are you still teaching, just so people can find you as well in Vegas, are you still teaching ballroom classes there while we're on a little hiatus? Or what are
Yes,
you
I'm
doing
gonna start
to stay
to
busy?
teach online. I'm gonna start to teach online. I will be teaching ballroom. I will be. Unfortunately, I don't have a full set to teach aerial,
Yeah.
so I will be, yeah, ballroom conditioning, salsa. I will also teach Crazy Horse Paris style.
Oh, I want to take that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Everything I learned with them and everything that's still in me that I am using for other show that, because once you're crazy horse of your life. You know,
Well, how are you training right now? That brings up a really good point because you do so much area work. Do you have stuff in your house, or how are you
yes,
still training?
yes.
Yes.
I do have stuff in my house. I do have also aerial hoop that I can condition on.
Okay.
I have a pool. I'm just being creative and trying
Yes.
to, to use everything we can to stay strong for aerial.
Yes.
So I don't lose it. Because for dancing, I need the ground, but for aerial, I need to hang.
Yeah.
And
It's the strength.
also, I do teach French, Spanish, and Lebanese. I teach.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Tell them. Yes. Cherry Boom Boom Paris for sure, Sharon. Yes. We are going to Paris.
Yes.
Okay. Wait. That's right. How many languages do you speak?
So I speak 4.5.
I remember when I first met Lenny, right? She said to me, he's Australian and he has a huge, like, big Australian accent. And
The Australian and
Patricia,
Danish.
yes, Australian and Danish. And Patricia is French Lebanese. And you said we don't understand each other, but in other ways.
That's why we're
like,
together.
yeah, exactly. The language of love. Yeah.
Oh yes, I do. I do speak 4 languages. I do work actually as a translator for those
Okay.
languages. I mean, languages is the door of the world. You just, it's like dance.
Yes.
You just express yourself, and once you start to communicate in a different language, and you can see that the other person is understanding, you get so excited.
Yeah.
Because you're actually succeeding to express yourself.
Yes.
So well, my first language is French, as you can hear.
It's gorgeous. I love it.
It gets worse with wine.
Yes, I know, right? We know. Right, and some of the girls call you, I love it, and it's such a compliment, boom boom, because you make everything sexy. Like, even the way you say cherry boom boom, you're like boom boom. It's so sexy.
They also call me Pum Pum because when I count or when I try to express a move, I say Pum Pum, Pum Pum.
Yes. Boom boom, boom boom. I love it.
And my second language that I learned was English. Then I had to learn Lebanese, that's Arabic. I write it also.
Wow.
It was very hard for me to learn this language. Very hard.
I bet.
And Spanish. I learned Spanish when I got to Las Vegas because everyone speaks Spanish. And also, I knew a little bit of Spanish before because I had to understand in flamenco what those dramatic singers sing. I
Yes.
had to know to respond to them.
Yeah.
And Italian and Portuguese are so similar to Spanish and French that I could understand.
Mm-hmm.
So I can converse with them. I can talk Spanish, I can talk Italian, Portuguese, and they will actually understand me because it's Latin languages.
Yeah. That's incredible that you know all those languages.
So
Yes.
I just love it.
Gorgeous, passionate, smart. I mean, you're just like the full package, which of course I knew and hired you. So I love it.
You're so sweet. Thank you, Lynn.
It's true. It really is true. I mean, I say that with levity, but You're definitely one of the very best, and we are so lucky and fortunate to have you on Cherry Boom Boom. And I just look forward to more to come. We will be back, you know, um, bigger and better. We have lots of other things planned, and stay tuned for May 5th. And I can't wait to see you soon.
Me too. Me too.
I can't wait to work with you again. She is amazing. Are there any questions that anyone has for Patricia that we haven't answered yet?
Oh,
yes,
hi, Shervin.
The full package. Yes. Does anyone have any questions for Poom Poom? Really quickly, what was that restaurant that you took me to in Vegas that night? We stayed out till like 5 in the morning.
With the big plate?
What was it? Huge big plate.
Oh my God, I'm so hungry right now.
So good.
It was at the Venetian.
Okay.
It was called the Grand Luxe Cafe.
Oh, so good. You know all the good spots.
They will say it Grand Lux. Yeah, Grand Lux.
Grand Lux. Yeah.
Grand Lux Cafe.
Grand Lux Cafe. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much, Patricia, for joining us, and I look forward to
what's Sharon saying?
Oh, what do you do to prep for Cherry Boom Boom Show?
Bye. It's a secret.
Yes. Oh, she's amazing. We want her to keep going. Good. Okay, good. They don't want to end yet. So more Patricia. Yes, more Patricia. I know that Instagram cuts us off in like 10 minutes, so I just want to make sure that we don't get cut off. If we do, stay tuned for May 5th. But yes, more from Patricia.
Also, I'm gonna tell you what else I started to learn. Few years ago, when I got asked to audition for the Humanity from Cirque du Soleil.
Oh yes.
They asked me if I had a knack to crack whips.
Yes. Oh yes. To Cherry Boom Boom, the show, because that was in the original show. Sharon and Reve did a whole whip number, and would love to bring that back. Oh, that would be so fun to have you and Sharon do a whip number. Oh, you're frozen. She just got frozen, so she might be coming back in about 2 minutes. She's fantastic, you guys. Just love her so much. Hi, is that Lenny? So good to see you. Yes, Aussie Heat. We went to see Aussie Heat, the whole Cherry Boom Boom show. Aussie Heat invited us, and we had a fantastic, sexy time. That was so fun. Patricia, are you coming back on? A team of whip women. Yes, Sharon, I think that would be fantastic. I love that. As you know, we've been talking about the whip number because you did it in the original show. We just haven't had the space to do it, right? But when we can, let's bring that back. That would be really fun. So, all right, I'm not sure if Patricia's coming back, but thank you guys for joining us so much. She's lovely, and I can't wait to see more of what we have. We have more in store for you guys. I can't wait for you to see what Patricia has to bring May 5th. May 5th. Check in, tune in, and we hope to see you guys soon, very, very soon. Love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Patricia. I love you with all my heart. Thank you, guys. And if you missed some of this, there she is. Yay! And if any of you missed this from the beginning, I will be putting it up on our Cherry Pie.
Hi, my phone just turned off because of the heat.
That's okay. I know it happens here, and I think everyone's using Instagram too, so it happens. No worries. But I was going to say, if anyone missed any of this and want to see the entire interview, it'll be up on our Cherry Boom Boom channel on YouTube page. I will post it there, and you can see all that. Just one more time, put your hat back on. We're going to get more of this swag that people were asking about, the Cherry Boom Boom swag. So t-shirts, hats, and I have some incredible, I have this too, which is new, which people will be able to get Cherry Boom Boom jackets as well on the website, coming very soon in the next couple weeks. So stay tuned for all of that. Any last thoughts, last words, Patricia? It's been awesome having
Come
you
in.
on. I love you dearly.
Yeah.
Me
got a
too. Thank you
text from the guy that's gonna be here
for
later.
everything
Yeah.
and letting
He's
me
coming
express myself.
now.
It was a
He's
joy
going
to
Okay.
talk about
soon,
all
so
this
Okay.
and
letting you know the
memories.
second
And
estimate.
Okay,
it was
thank you,
just
babe.
Do you want to
great.
come out and talk?
Okay.
I'm just, you bring so much joy to my life, so it's amazing.
I
I'm
love you so much.
so grateful. I miss everyone. I really hope that we're gonna meet up on stage very, very soon.
Me too.
Because I don't want to end up doing all this choreography on my couch.
Very soon. Very soon. Love you,
But
Crystal.
everything
We'll see you
happens
soon.
for a reason. We have to stay positive and take this break. I'll call it a break
Yes.
to really work on ourselves and realize that not everything is. Realize what's important.
Yes. And I'm going to take with us, I'm going to leave with that what you said from the very beginning is that you never know when could be your last day of doing whatever you're doing. And we will definitely continue on. It's not the last day, but for the moment, it sure does make you appreciate everything even more so. And we can't wait to get back to dancing and seeing you on that stage.
Yes. Me too.
I love you. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next week. Cherry
Hi,
Chat
Sharon.
every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Hi, Hannah. Thank you, babe. Love you guys.
Bye.